Story time like a motherfucker. So I'm showing you my light fixture because there was a crown here. So this is how you put the fixture on. And there was this piece that slid up. And on top of the piece that slid up was a crown. So what I like to do and what I have been practicing for a very long time is giving myself reminders not to be harsh on myself. It's okay to be a little emotional and pat your motherfucking self on the back when you are doing a great job. Because I don't know if it's our people, our culture, or our generations that are so prone to negativity that we're very hard on ourselves. And very seldom do we celebrate. We'll celebrate other people more quickly than we do ourselves, right? So I know for me, I have accomplished milestones in my life. Very rarely have I ever celebrated them unintentionally because I had this objective in my mind that I had a goal that I needed to accomplish. Once I accomplished the goal, I didn't look at it really as an accomplishment because my goals were equivalent to my priorities. I felt like it was something that I had to do. So once I accomplished it or I took care of a major priority, for some reason, I didn't look at it as something to be celebrated. It was just something I crossed off my list that I'm like, okay, I'm relieved I took care of that. Now on to the next goal or on to the next whatever it is that I needed to do. It was like a list, right? So what I had done is I had put things around the house that we can in summary call it art. We can call it art. All different type of art things around the house to remind myself and even my children that they descend from royalty, that they should always try their best and do their best because the end result is going to be beneficial to them first. To love yourself through no matter what. Don't ever discredit yourself, disregard yourself. Just optimism and positivity I try to instill, not just verbally, not just by physically showing them, but also physically, physically showing them in different ways. The story time is this. One time, Judas and I got into this fucking argument, and he broke the light fixture. That's why the crown isn't there anymore. He broke it. And the way he broke it was he simply yelled out, fuck you, and slapped or hit the crown, and the whole thing flew off. So I realized in that moment that that shit was cheaply made. But I go back to that moment and I remember it's subtle. And it may not be so subtle to other people. But to me, that was a subtle red flag. Like, I know people get upset in arguments. Of course, I would rather him hit the wall at that time than to hit me. You're displaying frustration and aggression. But it was the fact that he hit the crown off of the fucking light fixture. Because it, the reason why it was small but significant, it's a material item. He broke it. Oh well. But the significance is there were other signs I was getting leading the fuck up to that I paid no fucking attention to. Like him being argumentative with me on the way that I speak. Because I do have a potty mouth. I curse a lot. And I don't know if you guys realize that. But I know, especially in my early fucking videos, I used to, going off. I was going through something more then than I am now. But, I curse a lot. And he didn't like that. And he made it a point to tell me. And I just found it odd, but I just made it a point to say, well, honey, out of many things you probably could complain about, you complain about the way that I speak, and that's odd to me. It's as if like you want to change me. Are you trying to change the way that I speak? It bothers you that much you feel like it's worth making mention about. Now mind you, he is just coming home, so when I look back in retrospect, I see all of those small things like that. Like, okay, there were certain ways that he tried to control me that he couldn't, and he didn't like it. There was the fucking light fixture, and these are small, like it was other things and other incidents, I don't tell every fucking thing, and it's not that I have anything to fucking hide, but it's just I don't gotta tell every fucking detail, because the goal was never to try to make him look fucked up. It was never to try to make him appear to be a fucking certain way, because let me tell you something about the fucking truth. That shit gonna come out and you can't cover that shit up but so motherfucking long. So the truth of who he is gonna come out. It's gonna reveal itself. It has revealed it to me, and will reveal itself to other people. So it's not the fuck that I was trying to make him look any type of way. I was going through a healing process, and just me telling my fucking stories and sharing my stories and how I felt at the fucking time was enough for me to be able to release some of that hurt, some of that pain, and to try to heal. And that's what the fucking channel was about. And this is why I brought this to your motherfucking attention. Because it be the little things that we ignore that end up being big things. It's the same shit that we accept in those moments that we end up fucking regretting later on. And it's fucked up. And here's why it's fucked up, right? Because it creates a sense of like fucking paranoia within a person, meaning within me. And this is what the fuck I mean, because you or me, let me just say this, will always confront. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but we'll address. We'll always either confront or address an individual or persons that we feel offends us in any type of way. Now, so somebody could say something that absolutely don't mean anything by it, but because you was in this relationship with this motherfucker and you loving on him, and he found all these little excuses to nitpick and try to fuck with you, and try to chip away at your character. Now you're guarded, your discernment is up. And sometimes it's up against people who don't have any ill intent towards you. But their comment will trigger that sore spot. It's like picking at a scab, and now it makes you alert, and you feel like you need to address it. And that may not necessarily be a bad thing, but these are like the fucking side effects of trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's like the fucking side effects of fucking trauma. Baby, let me tell you something. I was so motherfucking heartbroken, right? So I started thinking this is the shit I started fucking thinking. I said, so me going through this experience, it is traumatic for me. It is. And now I'm reading my own self. Right. I'm doing a tarot, and I'm doing a reading on myself. And the reading is saying that basically, in summary, saying someone from my past wants to revisit. And damn it, I can't help but to think it's fucking him. Now, usually in spirituality, you go, everything is intuitive, it's intuitive. So, intuitively, that's what I'm getting, that is him. But in my mind, I'm refusing to believe it, because it's not that I don't want him to reach out. It's not that, but just the fact that he hasn't. So now I'm sitting here toiling with myself, like, well, who the fuck could it be that want to revisit? Because even though he's my ex and he is from my past, I also have um, ex-friends, ex-associates, people that sometimes the friendship soured and we left on a bad note. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes their time in my life was just up, and we bowed out gracefully, so it's no type of ill feeling towards one another. But somebody from my past wants to revisit, right? And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm not kicking on it, but it made me ask myself, well, what do you want for yourself? Because if somebody's going to revisit, whether it's a friend, if it ended sourly, right? Pretty much that maybe they was a cool person at the time, but the way that it ended makes you alert when you're around them, and so you pretty much know that you don't want to revisit that situation. If it's a friend or associate that didn't end on a sour note, do you mind revisiting that situation? Do you even have the time? These is questions I'm asking myself. If it is him, if it is Judas, for whatever reason wants to revisit the situation, how do you honestly feel about that? Real shit. And to think about in retrospect what I've experienced or what I've been through. It also made me say, okay, and if you're not ready to revisit that situation, that's fine. But are you ready for a situation, period? Do you want to romantically entertain anyone? Is that something that you want for yourself? And let me tell you something, honey. I have decided that it's absolutely something, not only that I want, but I deserve. And so the type of man that I'm interested in, well, I'm not going to go into detail about what that is and, his characteristics and things of that nature, but I can say this. Sometimes, right, people try to hurt you with goodbye. Ain't that some shit? It take a raggedy motherfucker. It take a raggedy motherfucker. I'm expecting an estimated income because I'm getting some work done on the house. So I'm gonna have to cut this short and I'll revisit this back a little later. I'm gonna wait for the motherfucker to come in, ring the doorbell. But sometimes people try to hurt you with the goodbye. And it's a raggedy motherfucker that will look at your love and know how good it is and know how good you are and have been to him, and then turn around and try to take advantage of that goodness. You can't fucking reciprocate it, or you won't reciprocate it. So now you want to fucking take advantage of it and try to flip it around and try to make it either seem like I'm a certain type of person and I'm actually not, or you try to fucking flip it and try to find a reason why you don't or won't fucking return it. Because you're not being real enough with yourself. But that's okay, because baby, whatever my experiences have been in the past, that shit ain't gonna dictate my motherfucking future. I know what the fuck I deserve, but now I have a better idea of what I want, right? And so I'm collaborating those two, and I am not gonna settle anymore. I'm no longer gonna fucking settle, because ain't shit there but dirt. Have a safe one. I'll hit you back.